All right, I'm gonna start power washing the car and then wash the engine bay and see how it goes. All right, so I just washed the car. First thing first, I'm gonna drain the oil and I'm gonna either try to siphon out the gas from the back or see if there's a drain plug on the bottom. And then I'll start getting to work. Maybe do a spark plugs next, and I see the coil capacitor over here. And then fuel pump, I made sure to clean it pretty good so it can be easily removed. And the carb. All right, so I'll get to it. All right, so the drain plug is 7/8. All right, filter time. That filter's on there tight. All right, so that filter should only be hand tight. That should be good. All right, so I think I got a good angle on the fuel pump. Hopefully you guys can see it and I'm not blocking the camera. I'm gonna start by taking this fuel line out. This fuel line is what's coming from the tank. That's what goes to the carburetor. I see here this is, I think someone tried to remove it before and bend the fuel line. I just sprayed some WD-40 on it, so hopefully it doesn't give me a hard time. But this is loose now. Here we go. Yeah, this definitely been replaced, but it's not working now because when I cranked on it, I saw no fuel going up. And actually, it looks like there's no fuel from the tank. Unless there's low fuel, because this is the line from the tank. And I don't see no fuel coming out from it. So maybe this is working after all. Anyways, I got a replacement part. I'll change it regardless. All right, so I finally got it to budge. There we go. All right, now to remove the two bolts. All right, so those bolts are 9/16 bolts. Alright, so here's the old fuel pump. It looks exactly like the one I got from O'Reilly. Which is good, same length, same everything. And I'm gonna put it on now. Alright, so when I started to tighten the fuel line going to the carb, I put the new fuel pump on. It started braking and then it snapped all the way. So I need to get a new fuel line. Alright, so I found the fuel line on eBay. O'Reilly and AutoZone, they don't have it. So in the meantime, I'm gonna change the coil pack on the car. It's held on by 916 bolt over here. So the negative, there's a line, and the positive. Positive just clicks on, okay. Alright. The new one, the positive got a nut, but I think I can do it the same way they did it. I'm just gonna put some, gonna brush it off and put some degreaser on it, dielectric degreaser. I have this spray, Deox bit. It's good for electrical connections. Just make sure there's good contacts on it. Alright, that should be good. Alright, there we go. It's on. There's the main cable. Here it is. We can put some degreaser on this one as well. This is the electric piece. It helps with the metal connection. Alright. Alright, so I pulled the first spark plug. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. It's burned, yeah, but it doesn't look too bad. I think they've been replaced not too long ago. And here's the replacement. It's the same brand, Autolite, and size 45, I guess. What's funny is I didn't have the right socket for it. Most of my sockets are metric socket, but I was looking in the trunk and I found this ratchet. Usually older cars, they include like a spark plug socket. Usually it's a thin wall one that can fit, and that's what I found. This pretty cool piece. It still works. It's not the best, but it still works. But I just started with the first spark plug that was right here, which is very easy to reach. So I don't know how I'm gonna be able to replace the other ones with this tool. No way I can do that. So I'll go pick up a socket, thin wall socket that I can use my extensions on to be able to remove the rest. But yeah, they don't look too bad. Right, so now I'm gonna work on removing the old carb. It's for 716 nuts, and it was already missing one nut. There we go. I think everything's disconnected now. There we go. So the old carb had this blocked off on the back. I don't know what's that for. The new carb doesn't have that. And that vacuum line coming from manifold, it was just connected to this screw, which doesn't do anything. That's the line I removed from the back. All right, let me put the new one on. All right, so yeah, this This spacer was actually part of the original carb assembly, part of the car, so it should stay. Because when I tried to put it without the spacer, those pieces here start hitting the top of the engine. So the way I'm gonna mount it now, I'm gonna put the spacer uh, on it here, and then I'm gonna put this between the spacer and the actual car. Just a little bit of RTV should be fine. Usually there's a paper gasket, that's why. If it had like a rubber gasket, then I'll put more RTV. But paper gasket, a little bit should be fine. This paper gasket that came with a new carb is very glossy for some reason. It's not like a regular paper gasket. Yep. So now I'll go put this on the car, then put the carb on top of it, the new carb. All right. Here's the first vacuum line. Now there's a place for it. So I just went to O'Reilly and I bought two fittings like this one. They are 1/4 inch fittings. I installed one on the fuel pump and I attached the fuel line to it. I made it long enough so it can reach. And another one here in the carb. I'm gonna crank up the engine now and I'm gonna leave the fuel hose right here so I can see if it's pumping fuel. I just put 5 gallons in the car. So yeah, it should be good now. I'm gonna see if fuel comes out. I'm gonna connect it to the carb and set the camera and try to start it. So fuel is not coming out. Even though when I tried to siphon it from the line that's going into the fuel pump, I did get fuel. So I'm gonna try to prime it, see if I get any fuel out. So this is just the brake bleeder. That's what I did. I connected it to the line coming from the gas tank into the fuel line, and when I pumped it, fuel started coming out. So I know the lines are not obstructed from the fuel tank to the fuel pump. All right, perfect. So fuel is coming out. That's a great sign. So the fuel pump is working. I'm gonna hook it up now, make it a little bit shorter, hook it to the carb, and then we can start actually trying to start the car. All right, so the fuel line now is connected straight to the carb. I still have the battery on the charger. I have the fire extinguisher here. I'm gonna spray some starting fluid in the carb just to hot it out, and try to start it. I'm gonna set the camera and go for it. I wonder now if it's getting any spark or not. So the way to check it is to pull one of the spark plugs and put it against something metal and try to start to see if I see any sparks. All right, so I plugged the spark plug wire to one of the spark plugs I have. I'm gonna put it next to something metal. It can be this brace here. And I have my wife inside. She's gonna try to crank the car. I want to see if I see any sparks. Crank it again. Stop, stop. No spark. Okay. All right. So I think it got a bad distributor because I'm getting no spark. I cleaned the point with sandpaper. I didn't change the condenser though, and the whole point mechanism is still the original one. So I decided to get a new distributor. So the new distributor just came in. I just set the engine on TDC cylinder 1. You can see the rocker is pointed at cylinder 1. And try to get the balancer. But the balancer is set on TDC and I have it right on number 6 tick mark. It goes 3, 6. I can't really read, but I have it right on number 6. So I'm gonna put the new distributor in, and hopefully that will work. I also changed the capacitor. I don't think the capacitor was bad, the blue one I installed, but I figured just in case, because that old capacitor was in the car. I didn't actually buy it, so I wanted to actually buy one, make sure it's good. But I did check the resistance on them, and they both have the same resistance, 1.5 between the plus and minus, and 8.9 from the middle to either prongs. So I'll put in the new distributor and see how that goes. All right, so here's the old distributor next to the new one. Here's the distributor hole, and that's the screw and the little piece of metal that hold it in place and stop it from turning. So I'm gonna set it back exactly the way it was. It's at TDC now, pointing to the number 1, and I'll make sure to turn it to match whatever it was on timing wise. Alright, so new distributor is in. I tried to set the timing as close as it was before when I turned this distributor. But when it turns on, I can always loosen up this 1/2 inch nut on the bottom and turn the distributor until I get good timing. So I'm gonna crank it up and see if it turns on now. So it runs. I can tell the timing is very advanced, that's why it's running like that, but that's perfect. I'm glad it runs. So it was the distributor after all. I'm gonna play around with the timing a little bit, maybe turn it a little bit to the left, and then run it again, keep it running for a while. Alright, so I think that's a good stopping point for the video. The car is running. It's running better than I expected. Timing is good, it's just the idle, it's idling pretty high. Hopefully in the next video I can fine-tune it better, maybe do the first test drive with it, see how the suspension component, brake component are, and go from there. But yeah, I think for the first video we did pretty good progress getting it to run. Alright, thank you, and see you next time.